Okay, this is part 2 of my September update. Got quite a bit more to show you here, so I'll go ahead and get started. Next up is a double feature of two movies that I used to enjoy all the time when I was a kid, and I found it for a pretty good price, so I figured I'd go ahead and get it. And it's Shiloh and Shiloh 2. Yeah, I remember the first one. I used to consider this my favorite movie as a kid, and the second one I do remember a little bit. I mean, it's an okay movie, but it's not great. But the first one's actually really good. I did watch it here a few days ago when I got really sick with the cold. You know, I figured to get my mind off of it, I would just watch a movie, so I chose to watch this. And it really is a good movie. There were a lot of things in the movie that I didn't remember since watching it so much as a kid. But unfortunately, I don't think it's a very well-known movie. But if you have seen this movie, please let me know what your thoughts are, just because I'm curious as to what you think. But yeah, it's about this boy named Marty. He finds this dog, a beagle, and he calls him Shiloh. And he wants to keep this dog, but he finds out that the dog belongs to this guy that lives down the road, and this guy's always abusing this dog and not treating him right, and that's why he keeps on running away. And so he's forced to take the dog back to this guy, but then of course the dog runs back off again, right back to him. And so basically he takes things into his own hands, and he says, like, you know, I'm not going to let this guy abuse this dog again. So he hides the dog in a shed out in the woods, and he's keeping the dog a secret from his parents because he knows that if his parents find out about this dog, they're going to make him take it back again. And then of course a whole bunch of stuff goes wrong, and a bunch of other stuff happens in the movie. I can't say because I don't want to spoil it, but it actually is a very good movie. You should definitely check this out. And then the second one is pretty good. I mean, it's not great, but it's not bad. It's a decent sequel, I guess you can say. I haven't seen this one though since getting this, but I'll have to check that one out here soon. And it's just a flipper disc. Okay, next up, this is a movie that we watched at school, and I thought it was pretty good, so I figured I'd get it. And it's Super Size Me. Pretty much everybody knows what this is about, but I'll go ahead and tell you anyway. It's about this guy. Well, like, it starts off where these two girls, they're suing McDonald's because they're blaming them for their obesity and because of their health problems and all that. And they're saying that, like, McDonald's is 100% responsible for their health problems, which in my opinion is kind of ridiculous because, I mean, if you're willingly buying and eating the food when you know it's bad for you, it's not necessarily their fault. But anyway, so yeah, they're suing McDonald's, and the court tells them that they have to somehow prove that McDonald's intends for its customers to eat their food 3 times a day, and that it intends to make them unhealthy and all that stuff. And so in order to help them prove this guy who finds out about it, he goes on a 30-day McDonald's binge where he eats nothing but McDonald's food for 30 days to see what happens to his body. And then of course he gains a whole bunch of weight. He gains, like, I think 25 pounds in just 1 month after eating all that food. And also his numbers, like his triglycerides and his iron levels and all his other levels, start going off the charts because of all of his fast food eating. And, like, the basic point of this movie is just to prove that, well, it's more of a documentary than a movie, but anyway, the basic point of this is to prove that obesity is such a huge problem in America today, and that fast food like McDonald's is really bad for you and that you shouldn't eat it, which, personally, I agree with them 100%. I mean, I don't mean any offense to those who do eat at McDonald's or any other fast food places. I mean, if you want to, then go right ahead. I'm not stopping you, but I mean, personally, I don't understand how people can eat that food anyway. I mean, I think it's disgusting. I mean, when I even think about that food, I start getting chest pain just because I think about all the fat that's in there. But, I mean, of course, that's just my opinion, but, you know, some of those things that they said in this movie were kind of shocking. Like, you know, they were saying that they've interviewed people, and people actually eat there every single day, and there was one guy in this movie in particular that, like, he was talking about, like, when he got his driver's license, the first place he went to was McDonald's, and that he had, like, some kind of coupon, and he ordered, like, 3 Big Macs that day, and then 2 more times during the day, he went back and got 3 more Big Macs, so basically he ate 9 Big Macs in one day, which, in my opinion, that's pretty ridiculous. I mean, that's just disgusting. And then it went on to say that since then he's been going there every day, eating, like, 2 or 3 Big Macs, and ugh, it makes me sick, really. I mean, like I said, I don't mean any offense to those who do eat there, but, I mean, I'm just saying my opinions. But, yeah. It was a pretty good documentary. I do think it really had a lot of surprising things in it, and I would recommend giving this a try. And then there's the inside. Yeah, we watched this in school, and one day in particular, I wasn't there in class that day, and I missed some of it, so another reason I bought it was so I could see the rest of it that I missed. But, yeah, it was pretty good. I would recommend giving it a try. And then, next we have Freaky Friday. This is the original. I saw part of this on TV one day, but I didn't get to finish it, so I went ahead and I bought it. I found it for a pretty good price, and I went ahead and got it. Yeah, I don't think it's as good as the remake, but it still is a pretty funny movie. It's about this mother and this daughter. They're always arguing and fighting, and they don't really understand each other, so one day they both wish that they could trade places with each other, and then they do trade places with each other. Like, you know, the mother's mind is now in her daughter's body, and then vice versa. And then they basically have to go through an entire day in each other's bodies, and it's really funny. I really enjoyed it. Of course, though, I really like the remake a lot better, even though it has Lindsay Lohan in it, which I hate, but yeah, it was still a pretty funny movie. And then, next up we have Bangkok Dangerous. I know this got terrible reviews, but I wanted to check this out and see what it was like, and plus I found it for a really good price. It was actually not $10, it was less than that. I can't remember exactly, but it was on sale and I figured I'd pick it up. I only got to see about the first half hour of this. When I was watching this, I suddenly remembered about a half hour into the movie that there was something else on TV that I wanted to watch. So I went ahead and I just turned this off and watched what I wanted to watch instead. But from what I saw, it was pretty good. I mean, if any of you have seen it all the way through, if you want to, you can give me your thoughts on it. And there's the inside. Okay, and then next up, one of my teachers, my social studies teacher, was talking about this movie, and it sounded pretty good, and I wanted to give it a shot, and it's Double Jeopardy. Yeah, my social studies teacher was talking about this, and I thought it sounded pretty good, so I went ahead and got it. It's basically about this woman. She's married to this guy, and one day this guy decides that he wants to be with another woman, and so, like, instead of getting a divorce and all that stuff, what he does is he fakes his own death, and he sets up the entire crime scene, making it look like his wife had murdered him. And she's actually tried and convicted of this crime, and she's in prison for something that she was set up for. And so finally when she gets out, she's going out to find him and get her revenge on him because of what he did to her. And she knows that she can't get in trouble because there's something in the Constitution that says that people can't be tried and convicted of the same crime a second time, which that's what Double Jeopardy means. And so basically she's saying, like, you know, I can kill him because I've already been tried and convicted of killing him once, so I can't be tried and convicted a second time. So that's why she's going out to get her revenge on him, because she knows that she can pretty much get off with it. And it was okay. It wasn't as good as I was hoping it would have been, but it wasn't bad. If you have any thoughts on this movie, I'd like to hear them, if you'd like. And there's the inside. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and stop it right here. I have about 5 more to show, which I'll show in the next part, but that's the end of this part, and I'll be back with the next part.